Well, okay, let's try, I'm going to ink blend, I think, on this. And then I'll hit it with some water and dry it. And then we'll be cutting these up. Now this one, probably ink blend too, but let's focus on this one first. Because honestly, I don't know how long this video is going to be. Perhaps I have to break it into two. So I'm just going to use a walnut stain distress ink. I have these little, when I started, I just started with the little cubes. I do have some bigger distress inks, 3x3 pads, but yeah. Let's see. So I'm going to do some on walnut. Let me get an extra dauber here, or handle. Woo. I'm going to do old paper. I like that. We're going to see how this works together. And put some in. This old paper is pretty cool. Pretty light. By the way, I did in between, I did hit this with my heat it tool just to kind of set the ink. Probably still gonna get a little smudging, but we'll see. I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna do this entire thing. Oh, here and there with the old paper. You could dip it. You could put some of this on the surface, spray it, and dip the paper. This paper will hold up to it. Just be careful if you have a paper that isn't really meant for that. For instance, like that Nina cardstock, you can ink blend, but you don't really want to get it wet. Yeah, you can see this. It's got some black ink on it. That's okay. Oh, I didn't have to take that off. Let's see here. Just gonna do. Let me check my. Yeah, I'm still in frame. All right. And you can see I'm very precise. Not really. Just give it some color. And I mean, this would be great for spraying. And maybe I'll spritz it a little bit. Spritz it. I don't have my spritz. The Tim Holtz spritz, I ordered them. I was away. Post office held my package. They delivered my mail, but they forgot my package. So it's sitting in the post office. I'm gonna have to run over there tomorrow and see if I can get it. But I might hit this with a little spray stain in a second. Okay, so there's that. Just wipe off my surface a little bit. I'm going to just hit this with a little bit of water, my sprayer. How you like my inky binky? Mine's a mess. Needs to run through the washer. Well loved, we'll call it. Well loved. Ah! Oh my goodness, a bug just jumped out. Hang on, folks. It's an earwig. I don't like them. Got it. Off camera, but oh man, at least it wasn't a spider. Someone doesn't like spiders around here. That someone would be me. I mean, I dislike spiders so much, I won't use that Tim Holtz stamp set from last year. I'll use the stamp set, but not the spider one. Nope, sorry. I know some people feel that about snakes. Bugs, I don't mind. I can deal with a bug. As long as it's not like Florida big bug. We've had some giant ones. We also own a home in Florida, and Yeah, we've had some massive bugs. Gross. Like the size of a small mouse, some of the insects down there. It's amazing. Not in a good way either. It's not amazing that way. All right, this is kind of, you can tell it's wet. It's curling up. I'm going to hit it from the back side. See if we can get curled the other way. Okay, not perfect. All right, so you can see that. That's okay, that's good enough. But I think I will hit it with a little bit of Distress Spray stain, not the oxides. Let me get a tin out. One day when I get my shelves hung, these will be on a shelf. So what did I use? Walnut stain and old paper. I might just use some more walnut stain spray. I have a small bottle of it here. And yeah, there's a little globbiness on the tip there. This would be a good time for the splat box, but oh, that was heavy-handed, Des. Woo! Okay. Oh boy. All right, let's hit that with a little water. Oh, I got this stuff everywhere. That's okay. It'll survive. You will be okay. Okay. What a mess. But yeah, it would have been a good time for the box, but that's okay. There's some off screen. It's everywhere. It's okay though. One good thing is it wipes up with water. That's a very good thing. Whoa, sorry about the noise. Oh, that was loud. All right, hit it with a little more water. Let's try it. But it does look a little more grungy now. That was like instant, especially in this area. Holy mackerel, Des. All right, it's getting there. It's getting there. It's almost dry. Yeah, this paper can really handle the water. This and watercolor paper can. Yeah, these are just, like, it doesn't pill, it doesn't roll up. They're excellent paper for mixed media. Excellent. Look at it curl. Ooh, there's still some dampness in there. All right, let's do it this way. Get her good and dry. And we're gonna cut for a tag or two. All right, good enough. Just gonna kind of roll this paper out. All right, now I would go around the edges, but I'm gonna cut this into a bunch of different things. So I will worry about like inking the edges. I know I do it a lot. Not everyone inks the edges on things or inks the edges always on things. But when I do, I'm gonna use the scorched timber. I swear that scorched timber, there's something different about that pigment. Like, I'll use black soot. It's black, but that scorched timber will stain my fingers worse than, oh my goodness, than any of the other inks. It's so strange, but it's beautiful. Love the look of it. All right. Now then, let's make a number 8 tag. Maybe we'll cut a few of them, and then whatever we have left off the bottom, we'll make some other things, some tickets maybe. Okay, hang on. Let me grab my let me grab my cutter. So can you see that? Yeah. Okay. And a number 8 ticket, at least the one, or tag, at least the ones from Ranger, is 6¼ long by 3¼ wide. So I'm going to go this way, and some people, it pains them to cut this up. It doesn't bother me. So they put it face down so they don't see what they're getting. So this is 3¼ measure twice, cut once. Okay, 3¼ okay, 3¼ oh. All right, 3¼ wide. Beautiful. Ah, this is neat. And then we're going to be left with some, but that's okay. Well, we can use that for something else. Okay, so we're going to get 3 tags. Get this little piece left, little strip, or as Margaret from Seven Plaza says, little strippy. Oh, shoot, Des, bring the trimmer back, because you got to trim this down to 6¼ So I'm going to do 2 at once, and then I think, so 6¼ is just a little bit beyond here. So we're gonna pretend like we know where 6¼ is. Yeah, this wants to move. Okay, 6¼ great. We have these left over. Oh, look at what's left. How cool. Didn't even look at it. I don't care. I don't want to know. Okay. 6¼ Okay. All right. So we cut this all apart and look at what we're left with. Right? We have this, not quite a tag yet, right? And not quite tickets yet. So let me grab. So if you have a punch that will punch out, punch the shape of a ticket, I have one of these. It's a We Are, but there's non-brand names up on Amazon. I mean, there's wherever they make these in China, right? There's some factory, and it's like there's 1,000,001 different brands of them now. So there's 3 different sizes here, and I'm just, for the heck of it, and grab a piece of scrap paper so we can see which one we want. Now, some people just cut it and then use the end. I don't know if you've ever seen that, the edge to you know, but they flip it over on the other side and use it to mark the other side. Sorry, I can't do 2 things at once. I really can't. I'm trying to find a piece of paper to do an example on. Okay, I'm back. So here's a tag here. Here's like a number 8, right? So you can see there, I could just cut that off. But let's try my punch first. So this is 1. So that's kind of like that angle, right? That's like that. So 1 is probably the one I'd use. 2 is a much smaller. So you see how small that is? And 3 is a good size one too. Now, it looks like on the picture, but it's not that big. So we're going to use number 1. The number 1 side. And I always turn it like this so I can see. Number 1. Right here. There we go. There we go. Make sure I'm at the top. Number 1. But honestly, if you accidentally did it upside down, you do all 4 and then you have a giant ticket. I have to sharpen this thing. Okay, There we go. Now, I also have a hole punch. I'm not going to do it right now, but I have a hole punch that I can, and a punch to make a reinforcer. Or if you have any of there's dies that have reinforcers in it. So now, so you can do that. If you want, we have 3 ticket shapes. Look at, that's how they came apart. Pretty cool, right? And now I also have these. So I'm going to make these into a ticket. I'm going to use this. So this is a scallop edge. And I'm just going to take and make this ticket. You might have one of these punches. You might have, even if you just honestly mark it with a corner, like these, mark the corner off, that'd be good for a ticket as well. So you don't have to go out and buy a specialty punch. But if you have them, use it. If you want to do something different, do that. Okay. I've got paper flying everywhere. Okay, so I have 3 of these. This I'm just going to hang on to. I may end up using this as a as a little side tuck in a journal, right? So if you had a piece of paper and you put that on, you put a little notch there and glue it down, got a little side tuck. So pretty cool. But for these guys, you can get rid of some of these snippies. Where did my scorched timber go? Here's my scorched timber. I'm gonna take this. Oog. I want to make sure I'm still on. Yeah. Sometimes it's easier if I just stand up. A little scorched timber so you can see the edges. Like, how cool is this, right? You could use this in a journal. You could use this on a card front as a piece of ephemera. You can add other pieces of ephemera in. And you saw me. I didn't even look at this, right? I got the identification check right in it. That's missing the eye, but you get it. You get the drift. But yeah, how pretty is that, right? And I swear, these go, as you're stamping, it goes through like this ugly phase where you're like, is this going to work? And you just keep stamping. And how do you know when enough is enough? I don't know. You just look at it and say, well, is there enough coverage? Is it going to, you know, when I get in here with my ink, is it going to still look a little bland? It's kind of, yeah, that looks really cool. I'm even impressed with myself here. So I would just, yeah, ink this up. I'm gonna, where's my punch? Oh, I'm gonna do the bigger of the, not the 1/8, the 3/16. Let's see where it makes sense. No, it has to go down further. 1/2 inch. Yeah, we're gonna guesstimate halfway. Okay, I don't know if that is or not. Probably holding another one up to it. Then I would cut out get a reinforcer. I happen to have a little punch that's a reinforcer, and I have dies. I'm not wild about this punch, to be honest with you. It's okay. It could be better. I have a piece of black cardstock that actually has some glue on the back of it already. I'm going to try that. So, yeah. See if I've had troubles. Let's see. See if it worked. Yeah. Okay, and it actually has adhesive. That was dumb luck. I'll put that right on there. And it's off a little bit, but that's okay. Good enough, right? Okay, so I will ink these off screen. You don't need to sit and watch me ink the edges of things, but that is what I made with the main paper that I'm calling a what's it called? Masterboard. Masterboard. That's what people call them. So now I have 3 tags, 3 tickets, a little strippy for later, and I have this guy. Still have to do something with this. Stay tuned. I'm going to ink this up. I might do a different color scheme than I did, and then we'll cut it out in various forms and fashions. Okay, I decided to, again, ink this with walnut, distressed ink, and maybe some frayed burlap. I don't know, we're going to try it, see how it looks, and then we can do maybe a little die cutting. Again, this is not going to be perfection, and I don't care if it is, because these are just going to be tiny little pieces of ephemera. You know, if you want to make these sturdier, you could take this whole paper and glue it onto the back of a piece of cardstock if you wanted to make it sturdier than because 28 pounds isn't that heavy. So it's an idea. You just want to keep in mind that if you're going to, how thick you're going to use, especially if you're going to use a paper punch to punch some shapes out. It might be too thick, depending on the cardstock. I have some craft cardstock I have is heavy duty. It's really heavy. I use it a lot for bases on things. It's from Hobby Lobby. And it's pretty thick when you start trying to cut it out with punches, especially if there's another layer on top of it. So keep it in mind. So this is significantly lighter. I'm gonna add some in, and then I'm gonna go back to my walnut stain. I don't think I'm going to, being the paper is so thin, I'm not gonna wet it. I'm not gonna, maybe I'll just spritz it a little bit. Maybe with water. Spritz it. There we go again, the spritz. The spritz that's sitting in the post office. Darn you, hold mail. Okay, we're getting there. Ooh. Velcro is hitting. I don't like that sound. Okay. A bit down here. And again, if you get this cut up in the pieces not to your liking color-wise, you can always add some more ink later. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. Okay, those two can go to the side. Now, I'm going to cut these into, I'm going to try and use just, I am sorry, for the sake of the video, I'm going to try and use smaller dies that will fit through my Sidekick. So, I have out this die set from several years ago. What year was this? 2021. It's called Toil and Trouble. Sizzix number 665561. You know, if you're new to this and you don't have some of these dies, please don't spend a ton of money on the secondary market. Tim releases new stuff every year, and he doesn't do repeats. Well, of course, he's doing the vault set now. Vault all year long for Sizzix. So they're remakes of similar of his past dies, but tweaks them a little bit for different sizing. But what I've seen is, from one year to another, he may have a different witch, but he'll have another witch eventually. Same with like bats in the moon. He's done several renditions of cats. So just, don't spend the extra money. Unless you get a good deal. But that secondary market is kind of nutty. All right, so, and especially this year, being he's doing vault for each of his releases, they're going to be old ones. All right, so I'm going to stand up. You're not going to see me cut this. These pads are about 2.5 inches, I want to say. Yeah, 2.5 inches wide. I'm going to go over to my bigger cutter, rotary cutter over behind me, and just do 2.5 inch strip. So you can do this. Try and do this. You would swear I have no room. I have tons of room. Okay. So I just cut one strip off this. Don't care where. And my in camera, yeah, kind of, sort of. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna use these longer pads. Okay. And I'm not even gonna cut the end. I'm gonna grab a witch die. Okay. And I'll just crank her through. How's that sound? Okay. Let's see what she looks like. Now she's thin, mind you. Could you put a sticker on the back of it? Yes. Double-sided adhesive before you cut it? Yep. I'm okay with this. Oh, that's my chair making noise. Yeah, she's cute, isn't she? You can see some of the stamping on her. Kind of neat. Well, I could have grabbed a leaf too and done a leaf. Didn't even think about that. I don't have to dig through my die sets. But yeah. What I find is these single level dies work great. Okay. Don't even know what this is. Doesn't matter. A little piece of ephemera, right? Okay. So that's an example of what you can do with these. That's one. Let's try something else. Let me grab behind me. I have this whale tail punch, right? I guess I missed the whole Stampin' Up craze. I did do a little Stampin' Up before I got into Tim Holtz stuff, but I guess I know there's some really fabulous whale tail punch that Stampin' Up had, and it's discontinued. I don't even know if Stampin' Up is still in business. Not a clue. But there are these now on the secondary market. But you have, and the whale tail punch from Stampin' Up is one piece. You cut the whole thing and then you fold it. With these, I'm gonna hack off a piece here. Cut this part off. Yeah, it's a little crooked. Not that it really matters. Now that's that long. Now I could cut it single, cut two of them and glue them together. Or I can do, let me see. I'm going to make sure there's enough underneath there. Okay. I'm going to slide that piece in. Okay, now that's upside down. That's okay. I'm not bothered by that because the other side is not. Now I have a little, if I hadn't put a reinforcer on there, I could have just done that, right? A little tab for the top. So that's something you can do with these. Now, look at this. I have a bunch of extra stuff, you know, extra room here. I have this little square punch. Let me go under here. I just got to kind of line it up. I have a little square, and I can, you know, ink the edges up if I wanted to. Okay. What else do I have? You know what's good to do are just some random circles. So here's a 3/4 inch punch I have. You could do a bunch of circles. Sometimes you can tell what the design is. Sometimes you can't. Doesn't matter to me, because I'm just gonna, if I wanted something specific on here, I can go back through and stamp it if I want, or use a rub-on, or, you know, there's a million and one things, right? You can add a little, one of Tim Holtz ephemera pieces, snip it, okay? The other thing I could do, just for the heck of it, let me move this stuff off to the side. I could, let me clean that edge up. I could just make, let's see, let's do 1.5 inches, I think this is. Make a rectangle or two, or do a bigger square, 1.5 inch. Okay, got a little bit of a leaf on there and some splats, right? And we can just ink the edges of those up. Here's a rectangle, right? I can just take a little bit off of that. I have 2 pieces. I can add more ephemera to this. I can take this to the side. Let me ink this up. Ooh, Des, that's heavy. Oh, that's awful. See what I mean? That stuff is so, it is so pigmented. Lots of pigment. That thing is crazy. Look at that. Too much ink, Des. Too much. Try not to be so heavy-handed. See, and just ink this up, and same with the circle. Just kind of grunge it up a little bit. All right, got that. Oh, I'm sure I have enough ink on my pad to do this. Some people aren't into inking, and that's okay. You don't have to. You do what you like. All right. Yeah, so if I wanted to, let me grab this is ephemera. Halloween 2023. No waiting. So here's a few pieces of Tim's ephemera, and I can mix and match. I could, you know, that one's kind of big. Let's see if we can find something smaller, right? So we can glue that down. Right, what else do we have? There's lots of stuff. Oh, here's a smaller poison ticket. All right. Add that. Like, how cool would that look? Too. Let's grab another piece. What do we have here? Oh, look at this purple stamp. Put that on there. You could even layer this in. What else? What else do we have? I don't know about you, but when I buy ephemera, I usually buy a couple packs, which is probably the reason my craft room is so full right now. Oh, hello. Yeah. Move this out of the way. You can tell it's the end of a crafting session. I have stuff everywhere. So I could hang that off of there. I could put this under here and glue it down. You know, ink all the edges. How cool would that be? Right? So there's a million and one things you can do with these guys. Take one of these strips, cut part of that off. Yeah. So there's lots and lots of things you can do, and I will likely come back with another video. That's probably what I'm going to do, and show you how to make some of this ephemera. Okay, so we aren't rushed. But yeah, that is what we just did, all from, you know, a little bit of inking and stamping and then inking, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.